Welcome to Waywut. This is a rabbit hole podcast where we cover topics ranging from sports to true crime and pop culture to just weird facts. Really, it's just a couple of guys taking turns to present weird topics to each other. We publish episodes on Tuesdays and sometimes on Fridays. You can watch us on YouTube and listen pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts. It's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, just wherever. We're probably there. We really appreciate you joining us for this episode. And now that we got all this self-promotion stuff out of the way, here we go.
Why, hello there. My name is Jason, and today I am joining you sockless, so I can show off my conjoined toes as I bring you another topic that made me say, wait, what? Joining me, shaking his head in disappointment at what I just said.
No,
Darrell.
disgust. Disgust. There's a difference. Remember the first time I ever saw you without your socks on? It's in 4th grade. We were tracing our feet for class and found your funky, disgusting, gross-ass, duck-footed ass web
It was discriminatory. Discriminatory.
Yeah, you deserve to be discriminated against. You're disgusting, you mutant freak.
Yeah, well, yes. I do have 2 sets of conjoined toes on each foot. The piggy that stayed home, they're conjoined.
No, they're webbed.
Okay, webbed, conjoined, whatever. The piggy that stayed home and the piggy that had roast beef are joined together, about 3/4 to halfway up. And, and before you ask, this has no way helped me become a better swimmer. Heard that joke my entire life. Come on, people. Anyway, this wasn't just me with the weird toes. It was a family genetic trait. My dad and all 3 of his sisters each had the same conjoined toes.
Inbreeding does a lot.
Yeah, our family trees just straight up. Yeah, there's no
family
branches.
Stick. Family broomstick.
Oh well. Anyway, each of their firstborn, including myself, was also born with this genetic oddity. There's a picture of all of us with just our feet somewhere out there. If I could find it, I could probably make a few $1 million submitting it to a foot fetish site. Regardless, it is an oddity of the body, but one that can be easily explained by genetics.
Wait, hold on. So it hit your dad and his sisters.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, it only hit the firstborn of their kids?
Yeah, so like myself.
So I knew your sister didn't have it.
No, my sister didn't have it, but all the firstborn of my dad and his sisters, all the firstborn had the webbed toes. So me,
the web toe curse.
Yeah, and all our firstborn, their toes weren't webbed; we called them the stick 'em up toes, where it just kind of slightly set up above the other one and just kind of set on it. But it wasn't the completely webbed like our 2 toes are.
I guess y'all are finally dividing up that gene pool a little bit.
Yeah, we went out. In a previous episode, The Mandela Effect, I mentioned how some things get remembered differently depending on who you are and how you remember it. It's an odd phenomenon that is still debated today as why this happens. It got me wanting an explanation on other things in dealing with the mind and body. So over a course of a couple months, I made a list of things that happened naturally, and I wanted to know why it was happening. What are goosebumps, and why do I get them? Why the hell can I get this song out of my head? By the way, I've had Shake Me Down by Caged Elephant in my head for like 4 weeks. That's all I say. I walk around the house, say, shake me down. That's all I say. Constantly. It's a freaking constant. Anyway, what exactly is déjà vu, and why do I experience it? Why, when I drive over a tall bridge, I get the urge to drive off the edge? What exactly is déjà vu, and why do I experience it? Today I'm going to do
for that. I was also waiting for, like, why do I get boners while I watch wrestling? But yeah, you didn't say that one.
I knew the answer to that one. I knew to put that on here. Well, I'm going to do my best to answer some of these questions that had me saying, wait, what? First, let's take a look at déjà vu, which is actually French for already seen. In the
Mm.
simplest terms possible, deja vu describes that fascinating and strange experience where you feel that something is very familiar, but you also know that this feeling of familiarity should not be as strong as it is. We have all had that feeling sitting somewhere and thinking that you have lived this before. But why? Did we just forget about doing this before? Is it memories from another life? Did I eat too many edibles? Here are a couple of theories I found on WebMD. First theory is the familiarity and retrieving. The parts of your brain that recognize familiar things and recall why they're familiar are supposed to work together. If you recognize something as familiar without the recall process kicking in to tell you where you recall it from, that may feel like deja vu. Encoding and retrieving. Think of encoding as input. Your brain is taking in information and processing it as memories. Retrieval is the opposite, playing information that's already been encoded. These two processes work separately, but if they switch on together, you might think that the new information you're taking in is old information you're retrieving. So it's kind of getting the wire switched up. Now this
Okay,
one,
I was about to say that's you're telling me way too much. I was like, and on top of that, I'm like, screw you, WebMD. I know what it is. It's
mhm.
whenever the Matrix changes something.
Yeah, that's the next one, the dual consciousness. Some experts suggest that our brains have two types of consciousness, one focused on the world outside us and one focused on our inner mental processes. The dual consciousness theory of deja vu suggests that when you're tired or distracted, you might mistake what you perceive with your outer focused consciousness as a product of your inner focused one. So something new you see may seem to be a memory.
That's not what I said. I
That's what I heard.
said the Matrix,
Hmm.
the computer that has built our simulation makes a change and it causes deja vu. Remember
Cause
in
you
the
seen that
movie,
double
the
black
black
cat.
cat? Yeah,
Hmm.
that's why all of a sudden that meant that, where there used to be
Click.
windows, there were brick walls. The Matrix changed something. That's what it
Okay,
is.
I could
It's
get
not
behind that.
any of that, you know, conscious mind and neural pathway bullshit.
Yeah, it's got to be something so far more fetched.
Oh yeah.
Mm,
Has nothing to do with like electrical impulses going through our brain. No.
no, it can't be something like that. Mm-mm.
No.
I like the matrix theory. It's very, very possible.
I like it.
Uh, th- Another theory is called precognitive response. It's your brain's way of letting you know that you're familiar with a certain situation, but it also acts as a warning that something might not be right. Something that you're kind of just saying. Seeing the double black cat, that's something that's not right. To me, I think the answer lies somewhere in the combination of all those theories, basically saying it is due to memory processing and the brain's interpretation of familiarity.
Um, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to speak on behalf of our Californian audience,
Okay.
and I think it's because my soul has already experienced so much before and is like a similar situation that I had in a past life.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Californians. I don't mean to blame you. I won't. I won't. I won't do that again. I promise.
It's
All right,
very
I lied.
possible
I'll
too.
do it again.
It's in the
But
same column as the Matrix.
or what if we just technically keep reliving the same life over and over and over, and that's whenever our souls start to actually remember that and realize what's going on, and then it's like, no, you're just crazy, and then you just
And he gets reset. Yep.
yeah, what?
Put him back in the room. The last theory of precognitive response is very similar to the theory behind the next topic, coined the call of the void. The call of the void is a psychological phenomenon that describes a sudden urge to do something risky, such as jumping from a high place or swerving into traffic. It's also known as the high place phenomenon. You've had that feeling before when you're driving over a bridge or you're just driving on the road and you get that sudden urge to swerve your car over into traffic. Or I wonder what it's like what would happen if I swerved off this tall bridge? No?
No, No.
No? Oh, okay. Well,
Actually, my example of it, the one time that it was ever really kind of prominent in my head was whenever I was on a cruise, and you'll see like
just
an
jump
oil
out?
derrick off in the
Oh.
distance, and you're like, I bet you I could jump and swim to that. And in reality, that thing's probably about 200 fucking miles away,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll die. But I
Yeah.
mean, there's still part of you that's like, oh, I want to jump out there and swim to that. That's the closest. I think what I'm kind of curious is like, what is it whenever instead of, like instead of feeling compelled to jump off the cliff or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
what is it, whenever you feel compelled to push somebody off or,
It's,
or
it's,
like whenever
it's a
you
very
like,
similar situation.
oh,
It's
is
mm,
it called something else?
no, no. If you do it, it's called murder. But if you don't, it's just thoughts. It's just
It's
thoughts.
just, you know, it's like,
Uh,
man, I could totally throw that kid into traffic right now. Nobody would say it.
yeah,
Oh wait, no, they would say things, but I could totally do it.
yeah. It's the same. It's the same thing. Hearing voices that are trying to persuade you to do something dangerous can be cause for alarm. However, the call of the void is a common experience and not a sign of insanity or a sign of you becoming a serial killer. Regardless, they are strange thoughts that could be disturbing. So, why do we have them, Donkey? Well, here are some theories for why this might be happening. One is survival mechanism. The brain might simulate potential outcomes to help us make better decisions. A safety alarm telling you to be careful, in a sense. Swerving into oncoming traffic, bad. Staying in my lane, good.
But then why does it make you kind of want to do it?
It makes you realize the danger of if you do it and you what's going to happen, but it makes you kind of call to it. Like,
I
what would
mean, I don't
happen
know.
if I just swerved onto traffic real quick? But you realize I would hit this car and mass catastrophe would
But
happen
the fact
if you stayed
is
in your
that
lane.
desire to do it is still there, and that's the weird part. Is
It
that
is the weird
even for
part.
that moment that you want to do it?
Yeah. When you're driving over a bridge, or like you said, when you're standing next to somebody who's over a flight of stairs or just on a high place, you're just like, what would happen if I just shoved them real quick? Just give them a little shove, or like just anything, like or like on a cruise ship, jumping into the water. It's those weird thoughts that that just pop into your head that
Yeah.
you can't understand why
Yeah,
you would do it.
I could totally kidnap that lady and then keep her in a hole in my backyard and maybe feed her every once in a while and keep her as a pet for like, I'm pretty sure that make it last for a few years until she finally gets, like on my bad side and then, I kind of snap a little bit and,
Mhm.
maybe I just smack her around a little bit, but then, we make up, everything's better, Stockholm syndrome sets in, and the next thing you know, I have a lifelong pet,
Yeah,
right?
something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
you're pretty close. You're pretty close.
Okay, good. Being
Uh,
sane is fun.
yeah. The other thing was curiosity. The human mind has a fascination. A fascination with the forbidden or the taboo. We have all said, "I wonder what will happen if I." Fill in the blank with any verb you choose. Just like we were saying, I wonder what if I push this person, or if I swerve my car, or if I jump. Just remember the saying, curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah, kind of like that time I got pulled over and the cops were frisking all of us, and you're like, "What if I just run?"
Exactly.
No,
Oh man, I've thought about that story quite often.
we'll have to tell it someday.
It would be a good story to tell. Excuse me, it's illegal. It's a pretty
Uh,
low level crime.
I've already emailed Leroy. It's your turn. Although I was the one driving, but you were one of the people that shouted that out the window and got the attention, though.
Yes, we
So
weren't shouting at cops. We were shouting at women who thought they were
don't say
we
women. Don't say women. They weren't women.
okay, girls. When we were 16 years old,
Hmm.
thinking they were rebuffing our
I
charm.
didn't. I was just driving.
Well,
Anyway,
I did,
I,
and I apologize for it.
honestly, I think the story fizzles out too much to where it'd be a really good one to email him on that. I've thought about that one too, but then again, even the story that he did of mine, anyways, is still kind of has like a lackluster ending because we have our strong suspicions of, and if you people want to understand that, go and listen. Excuse me, that's illegal because I'm not going to tell you the story here. It's on
Mhm.
somebody else's podcast. Go listen to it there. But
He
I
tells the story well.
yeah, we the the ending on that one kind of sucks. It's going to be one of those just unsolved mysteries for all time, I think.
Well, I know who did it, and you know who did it, but that's a
Kind of like
story
how
for
we know
another
the CIA helped kill Kennedy. I mean, what good does it do us? All right.
day. Very true. All right. The next thing I wrote down was earworms. An earworm, also known as stuck song syndrome, is defined as a catchy piece of music or saying that gets stuck in your head and repeats uncontrollably. We have all been there. You hear that one song 2 weeks ago, and piece of it continues to play in your head. You have heard numerous songs since, but why does your brain play this on a loop? This phenomenon has actually been studied, so besides the mind being a prick, as discussed prior, here are some reasons as to why this happens. According to the research conducted by Dr. Kelly Jakubowski at Durham University, stated that music that is fast, quiet, generic, and has an easy to remember melody is more likely to become an earworm. Once again, see the song Shake Me Down. He says the same thing over and over again. That's all I freaking repeat. She explains further, or he explains further, the doctor explains further, our findings show that you can, to some extent, predict which songs are going to get stuck in people's heads based on the song's melodic content. The study also found that earworms were more likely to surface when someone was doing an activity that didn't require more brain power, such as having a shower or doing chores, or driving home from work, or just brain numbing television. Now, the most important question: how in the hell do you get rid of it? Well, you can listen to the whole of the song or piece that's stuck in your head. You can try to distract yourself with another song, or you can ignore it. I do not agree with ignoring it. Just like an itch, the longer you ignore it, the greater it grows. Your best bet is to listen to the full song and just get it out of your system. I'm talking about putting a song on, cranking it up to 11, and just singing your heart out until you get sick of the song. That's the only way to get rid of it.
Yeah,
And I
no,
have yet to get sick of this song, so that's why I can't get rid of mine.
no, I agree. I think that's that's the best way. I've had to do that so many times. I'll even be in the middle, like hanging out with my wife or whatever. Be like, hold on, I got to listen to this song real fast, or otherwise I'm gonna go insane.
It's so
And
stupid.
just to, I think just to really kind of, for audience participation on this. Hey Siri, play I Believe in a Thing Called Love. I hope that worked.
That'd be cool if it did. What song gets stuck in your head a lot?
Gosh. The only one I can think of lately is from Mulan. I'll
Mulan.
make a man out of you. Be a man. That one.
Well, I think earworms don't just exist with songs. It could be just, funny little phrases or something here off a television show. You ever watch
Mm,
the show Barter Kings?
no.
There was a guy, he had Tourette's, and he always would say shabam, shabam, and I would just walk around the house and be like shabam, and just say it all day long. I keep hearing him saying it over and over. It's very similar. I don't know how to get rid
I,
of it. It's very strange.
yeah, no, that's just you there, buddy.
And maybe it has to do with me, where I work and how I work, and I kind of listen just to the news in the background, and I don't doing much talking. I'm just working and listening, so my mind's always rummaging over useless information such as song lyrics.
What's so funny though is like I've always wanted to have something like catchy stuck in my head because like if I hear something funny, like I'll try to use it and I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be one of the funny things I
Mhm.
just say every now and then I'll forget it because like even like with Dana Carvey doing the Joe Biden impersonation, guess what? By the way, every time he says that, I laugh so damn hard, and I keep wanting to say that, and I'm like, guess what? And I can't remember the other half of it, the by the way part, and I end up doing, just some confused looks like he did, but except I actually,
Are
am
confused.
confused at the time. So guess what? By the way,
All right, another one I wrote down was goosebumps. Another body oddity that we all get happens so often. It can be because we're cold or get excited, while taking a poop or just having an eerie feeling. What I'm referring to is goosebumps, also known as pilo erections. I know,
yeah.
right? I wrote that. I'm like, really? That's what it really is called? I'm like, huh? It's a real word, pilo erections. The first reason we get them is because it's cold. Duh. We get all the chills and wrap our arms around ourselves. You notice your arm hair sticking out like someone just rubbed you with a balloon. The reason for this is actually quite simple. When you're cold, the sympathetic nervous system triggers the muscles to contract, which pulls the hair upright and creates goosebumps. The other, you get the eerie, scared feeling. We all get that creepy feeling up our neck, and sometimes you actually shiver. Once again, you get those goosebumps. The reason for this one is a little more interesting. This is an example of a vestigial trait, which is a characteristic that was useful in our ancestors, but now has little usefulness. Once again, since goosebumps make your hair raise on your body, it made our ancestors appear larger since they were hairy as fuck. My 14 my 14 chest hairs and hairless legs would have made me a goner.
um Question: Do you are you one of those people? Because it's I think it's like 25% of people are genetically predisposed to actually get goosebumps and chills while listening to certain songs.
Uh, I could get goosebumps listening to certain songs. Yeah.
I've had that happen. There's certain ones where if it swells just right, has a really good
Hmm.
crescendo where he kind of builds up into it, then
Yeah.
and then whenever it does that, whenever it finally piles into it, that rush that you get with it kind of gives you
Yeah.
goosebumps. Yeah,
A real powerful song or a real powerful moment when they're playing it
yeah.
behind a
Where you can
video.
feel the emotion in it and everything. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One
Do
of
you? I
those.
mean, do you physically get goosebumps?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember during football,
Apparently, not everybody does. That's what I was asking.
yeah, no, it was actually one of the reasons given on why you get goosebumps is to feel that, like you said, that feeling of adrenaline from the music.
But thing is like I said, there's only so many people. I mean, I think it is. There are fewer people genetically predisposition to actually get goosebumps while listening to music.
Hmm. I remember on Friday nights before we played football, we all had to line up on the sidelines and listen to the play, not the Pledge of Allegiance, but the national anthem, and just sitting there staring at the flag and just waiting for them to blow the whistle to go. Man, I could feel my hair raising on my arms. I could feel it on the back of my neck. I would get so pumped up just by that moment and hearing that song, knowing we're about to go to battle or go to war in a football game, and it's got me really, really pumped.
God, football's so gay. You made football gay. God.
No, I mean, it got me in the zone. I mean, I was ready
And
to
not the
go.
good gay with two guys fucking each other. Not that one. I mean it the other way.
He said the good gay.
Yeah. We had this discussion not that long ago.
Oh man,
And I
yeah. Well,
don't
speaking of being
understand.
excited,
I'm just
we have all
saying.
heard good news and got that special tingle. Not the tingle you need medication ointment for, but that warm feeling tingle. Well, maybe. Oh, we might need ointment for that too. Well, anyways, the excited goosebumps are caused by an adrenaline rush, which causes your muscles to contract. Basically, when
Ooh.
you are experiencing extreme emotions, just like we were talking about, the muscles under your skin become more electrically active. Kind of like what you were just saying.
Interesting.
Yeah. And my favorite reason why we get goosebumps is when we poop. And this is actually a scientific thing. Just hear
Okay.
me out.
I'm
Just hear
I'm
me
I'm,
out.
I'm listening.
All right.
You
People.
let's see how else your butthole affects your life. We know that you get it tickled while you're driving.
Mm-hmm.
So, now we're gonna find out how your butthole affects the rest of your body. All right, come on.
Everybody gets this, okay? People get goosebumps when they poop because of physical exertion of a bowel movement activates the sympathetic nervous system. The vagus nerve, which is part of the parasympathetic nervous system, is also stimulated during a bowel movement, which can cause goosebumps. It can also cause sweating, chills, lightheadedness, and intense relaxation. The vagus nerve runs from the. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, I feel relieved to hear some of that because it's like, every now and then, whenever things are a little bit more work than usual in that department, and you
Mm-hmm.
end up a little lightheaded afterwards, it made me feel like, oh my god, am I that fucking pathetic? Where just even taking a crap makes me like want to pass out there for a second, but I
It's
mean,
all intertwined
sometimes,
together.
and it's usually like those ones where you have to do like Lamaze to get out. Push, you know, the ones
Grab
where
the.
you haven't had enough fiber in your diet or something. Those,
Mm-hmm. You gotta
yeah.
grab the bottom of the toilet seat and just hope, just pray something comes out.
No, it's there, and it's one way or the other. It's either you're gonna have to cram it back in, or you're gonna have the doctor pull it all the way out. One or the other, and that's what the purpose of the Lamaze is. It helps. I don't care what you say. You put your like legs in the air and you point your toes
Mm-hmm.
and just yeah.
You actually take your feet off the floor and
If it's a
point your
really
toes.
bad one, I have before. I won't lie. I now that they have squatty potties, that's not as necessary anymore.
Oh
But
man,
like
yeah, that's like a
there were
$1 million
times that
invention.
no, yeah, no, there were times where I was just like, God, I wish my toilet had stirrups. But that was back before I was watching what I ate. And now my wife makes sure that I get all the appropriate dietary fiber and stuff. So now, and some of it was like whenever I'd go hunting, I'd be at the deer lease for like 4 days, and
Mm-hmm.
like little bitch me is like, "Ooh, outhouse smells," and I would just instead hold it for like 4 or 5 days straight. You
Mm-hmm.
know, really healthy stuff. And then, come back and it's like all just there, like, let me out now. And it's like, no, you're too big. And it's all like, yeah, I know. Take it. Well, let me out, whatever. I can't remember. All I remember was pain and goosebumps and getting lightheaded and breathing heavy. And what was I
I'm just
talking about?
I'm just picturing you putting your legs up in a stall somewhere,
Oh
hoping.
no! See, no, because I don't use public toilets for that. That is
What?
something you do, and no, that is something you do in the privacy of your own home, where it's nice and safe, and strangers can't hear it or smell it.
Sometimes that thought or the feeling of having to go overwhelms the feeling of somebody's going to smell it or
I
see me. I don't
th-
care.
there
Watch.
are times
Want to.
I'm able to fight that off. I mean, I will be that guy that starts sweating and stuff because I'll be
Mm-mm.
like, I gotta get home, gotta get home, gotta
Nope.
get home, and because like it there are times I can get over it because, like, I will be honest, getting paid to poop is like the best.
Oh yeah.
But
Half
like,
my day I spend in the bathroom.
say where I currently work now, there's like somebody I know. Their office is right outside the bathroom, and it is like the only bathroom there, and there's only two stalls. And whenever I go in there, people are gonna know I'm in there, and that it's me,
Uh-huh.
and I can't cope with that. That's not all right.
No, you got to have a
No,
poop floor.
I
You got
need
to
to
have.
be
You need a poop floor.
well, yeah, and I need safety. I need safety and security. It's like my wife makes fun of me because I love her. I share everything with this woman, but whenever I go to the bathroom, the door is closed and locked.
That's for
I
her safety, though.
It is closed and it is locked. And if she's too close, then definitely the vent fan goes on to try to muffle the sounds. Because this is not a show for people. How long have we been talking about me pooping?
For quite a bit. I'm letting you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, go
No,
ahead.
no,
This is
no, no,
freaking
no.
greatness. It's
I
freaking
think
greatness.
I think I've said all there needs to be said about this.
Okay.
That's all I have to say about that.
Well, it must have struck a nerve. It must have struck the vagus nerve.
Why
The
are there?
vagus.
Oh, sorry. One more thing.
Yes.
Why are there so many things like that are involved with the butt? You know, you got like a vagus nerve that gives you like lightheaded and goosebumps and all this other
Mm-hmm.
stuff. You got the prostate in there that like
Gives you
has
the
to deal with
goosebumps too.
like, well, yeah, and has to deal with like weenie function. I
Yeah.
I don't understand why there's so many things that are just packed up in there. They need, it's like, come on,
Pun intended.
maybe.
You got a point there. For something that deals with shit is pretty important to our health.
Yeah, no, it's one of those. I mean, it's yeah. I'm not gonna go into that. I was, but yeah, it's just
Well,
it seems like a bit of a design flaw.
a little bit. I've heard it called. Who described it? I think it was on Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where he says, "Why would God put a playground next to a sewer system? It's a design flaw. It doesn't make sense."
I mean, the only thing I can think of is like all it lets me do is like anytime anybody quotes Leviticus about like God not liking gay people, which I guess he didn't in the Old Testament, but that's what the New Testament was for. But
Mhm.
but yeah, it'd be like, well, then why did he put the playground? Why is there nerves in the prostate there?
Mhm.
That's kind of mean. Be like,
Mhm.
be like,
Mhm.
hey, look, if a finger goes right here, look, that goes whoop. Ah! Don't touch it though. It's like I thought you already did that apple thing. Don't do that again. No.
Well, this nerve, this vagus nerve, it runs from the brainstem to the rectum and plays a role in many bodily functions, including digestion, regulating your heart rate, and regulating blood pressure. When the vagus nerve is stimulated, it can send.
Ow.
Yeah, talking about that
Ow.
finger. When that vagus nerve is stimulated, it can send signals of both strain and relief from passing stool to the brain. This can lead to feelings of excitement known as poo-phoria.
Okay.
On a side note, however, overstimulating the vagus nerve can cause a significant drop in blood pressure, which can lead to passing out on the potty. This is called triggering defecation. Oh, I had this word syncope. Triggering defecation syncope.
Now I've got something new to be afraid of whenever it comes to pooping. Great.
So you can strain too hard and you can pass out. This is the thing. So when that lightheaded feeling you get when you are sitting on the pot and you're just straining and you feel lightheaded, that's because you're about to pass out. It's a real thing.
Some people think that contributed to Elvis's death because he was on all those opiates and opiates constipate you. I mean,
Very
he did die on the
possibly.
shitter,
He
so.
did die on the shitter. He could have been straining and he could have just
Oh,
died right
oh
there.
man, oh man. Yeah.
Oh man. When I read that poo for you part, that was perfect.
Hmm.
We've all had that feeling before when you sit there and finally get one out. You're like, oh, and you get that shiver from the top of your head all the way to your feet. Oh yeah. Oh man.
God. I've never had that guttural reaction at all. Oh dear
Oh,
God. Okay.
man, it's a great relief. Anyway, well, that will do it for this episode.
What?
Yeah, that's all I have.
You're not doing pruny fingers?
No, that's a good one to write down, though. I
That is
know
a
why
very
you
good
get
one.
pruny fingers, though.
Do you?
Yes, your fingers do that so you can maintain grip.
Technically, but it's not. It doesn't only just happen whenever they get wet.
Dehydrated.
There's other situations too, and it's also going to be an indication of potential brain tumors and brain
Really?
damage.
For
Yep.
wrinkly fingers or pruny fingers?
Yeah, either not getting them in certain situations or getting them in certain situations. I don't know. You'll have to research that whenever you do a sequel to this someday.
All right. Well, I'm writing down pruny fingers.
Pruny fingers.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments if your family has a unique genetic oddity. Let's hear about it. Maybe you'll have
Yeah.
something cool. You'll have
Do you
long
have 3
earlobes or something.
nipples?
3 nipples.
Yeah,
Long
3
earlobes.
nipples. 2
3
buttholes.
2 buttholes. Ooh. Double
I
barrel
met
action.
I met a girl with double the female organs. You know, the female reproductive organs. She was doubled up.
Like she had
Like
2 uteruses or 2.
2 uteruses, 2 cervixes, all that. Yeah. So
Wow.
technically, she could carry 2 different babies from 2 different guys.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
opportunity.
She's really
lost,
nice.
guess.
I liked
don't know.
her. She was cool.
Yeah, why not? I bet she
Double the
was cool.
pleasure, double the fun.
Yeah, let us know if you have any genetic oddities in your family that might be unique or could top my web toes.
Do you have 2 of the dangly things in the back of your throat?
Oh yeah. Can you
Mm-hmm.
roll your tongue or do the little wrinkly thing with your tongue?
Mm-hmm. Oh god, I think my wife, she can like twist hers like all the way over upside down. It's terrifying.
What, her hand, her arm, or her
Uh-uh.
tongue?
Whoop.
Oh
Yeah, flip her
yeah.
tongue over. Because I can taco it and curl it up, but she's like, and then she's like, oh, I can do that. And then she goes, "Huh," and her tongue just like did this whole thing. And then I was like, got across and I threw holy water at her. And I was like, back, bitch, back. And then she calmed me down with a stick. But, you know, anyways, enough about me.
Yeah, well, tune in next time where I will put on my socks and Darrell will bring us another topic that made us say, Waywut? See y'all later.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for joining us for Waywut. We really appreciate you watching or listening. Please subscribe or follow us on your favorite platform to catch our latest episodes that we publish on Tuesdays and sometimes on Fridays. We'd love to hear from you, whether it's rating us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, commenting on our videos or just a podcast episode, or following us and hitting us up on TikTok, Facebook, or X. You can find us there with our handle, Waywut Podcasts. That's WAYWUT Podcast. And that will do it for this episode. Join us next time, and we'll make you say, Waywut.